Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very interesting news going on over here when it comes to some brand new PlayStation 5 hardware and brand new PlayStation 5 features that are actually coming now sooner rather than later. Actually, we actually had a pretty big leak from a very reputable leaker too as well, so I want to go and share all this news because for me, I always love it whenever there's something brand new. I always love it when there's something like intriguing, and I also love it whenever there's something that we could actually go and test around and may also go and affect up the future of different things. Now, this isn't necessarily going to be like the PlayStation 5 Pro console, but there's some very pro things as well tied on in. And it's also actually might have a nice combination too, because we have seen a lot of these rumors with the PlayStation 5 Pros or Xbox Series X Pros, etc. But the big thing for this is, this actually seems pretty good. So we have a lot of things to go talk about, a lot of things to go discuss, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. As well, for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, we have the Target links down below, the Amazon links down below, and the Twitter and Twitch stream if you guys want to follow down below. And let's dive into the video itself. So like I said, this is kind of a cool one. This article is over here from Tom Henderson, who's actually helped out with leaks before. So this one is a little bit more on the special side from the tryhard guides over here. So as you guys can go and see, we have the article popping over here with the official PlayStation 5 Pro controllers now officially coming soon with brand new hardware details. Sources have now revealed that Sony is creating a brand new Pro-style controller for the PlayStation 5. So this is actually, in my mind, this is pretty cool. So I don't think we've ever actually had a chance. Maybe you guys can chime in if you guys are a little bit older than I am, or maybe I guess like when I was younger, I just had my parents buy the stuff. I just buy the cheapest controller to like save them extra money. If I was not, like, say my first controller broke or had a friend coming over, most of the time I would just have them go and help me. You know, I had my dad be like, yeah, I'll give you the $20, you know, those see-through like Rocco cat controllers. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're a parent. You're like, what's cheap, what works, whatever. And as a kid, you're like, I'm just happy my parents hooking me up. So with this, as I mentioned, we now are apparently seeing Sony having brand new stuff in regards to the new Pro controller. So Sony is now apparently working on a genuine professional controller for the PlayStation 5, and the company will reveal new hardware in the coming weeks, sources have now claimed. So really quickly, I'm sure you guys have had a chance to go and see many different types of companies do this type of stuff. I've even had a chance to even be sent a Pro, like, specifically custom mated and modded controller over here. As you guys can see, this has, like, you know, just like, I guess if you guys want to have a rough idea of what Sony themselves are maybe going to try to base it on, but this is more of like, say like these, the triggers themselves, you barely have to push down at all for it to actually go and register. As you guys can probably see from that, that's actually like a click. It makes everything so much easier. Like, you basically barely press down, but it's still actually activating the controller itself. Super good for FPS games and just like games in general. They also have, like, you know, custom pads in the background. So basically, if you've ever had a chance to see a Pro controller, or think like a Scuff controller, or some of those types of controllers, a lot of those things tied together have a lot of good benefits. Like, even just off of, this is not what we're probably expecting off this, but you can even see how they have like a custom backdrop too as well with like grip handles. So basically, like, it just feels nice around the thing. Like, the aesthetic looks nice. Basically kind of opens up a lot more windows for different chances and different things for your controller. We also have seen, like I said, Scuff controllers. We know the Microsoft also has their own Elite controller, which I know quite a few folks like swear by. They think it's one of the best controllers on the market. They'll use it even just like I know people who don't even own an Xbox, and they just literally got the Xbox Pro controller so they can go plug it on in and then make sure that the like use it for PC gaming. So think, you know, like Dark Souls or racing games or whatever, because they're just usually that good. So this is going to set my expectations up pretty high for Sony. It's believed that the codename of the controller is Hunt, so the Hunt controllers, which will have several interesting features, including removable analog sticks, trigger stops, and rear buttons, flappy paddles. So that's kind of why I even showed you guys this in the first place, because this would maybe be like, say you want to have like, you want to play an MMO maybe on like a game. This kind of gives you 2 extra buttons you guys can go and have a chance to press. So this would basically be like, hey, like, you have to go and hold down a special button. I don't know, like when I was using Ratchet and Clank, when you had so many of these various like side options, very useful because you usually custom code them and do different things. But this would also be really nice then for the future of PlayStation 5 games too as well, because if they also add in brand new features and brand new buttons, they could also maybe add into more features, more dialogue, you know, more potential cool features, you know, adaptive triggerness, whatever you want to go and put into it. Like, the sky is kind of the limit. And it does add a lot more potential for the controllers themselves, which is really cool. Honestly, removable analog sticks is also nice too, because some people, maybe want to have them be slightly longer, slightly shorter, movable, whatever you may want to do, it's totally fine with that. And then as well, the trigger stops, which I think is kind of funny enough, pretty similar to what I mentioned on this. Like, I think this Pro controller is probably a good example, where, like, it just makes everything so much easier. If, like, you're in, say, a Call of Duty match, like, it's super easy to, like, get everything basically activating, I guess, is that a better word? Like, say, like a grenade or something like that. You can make it activate a lot quicker, which is very nice to see. So basically for this one, these claims of such hardware came along with pictures of the alleged prototype, which has been sent under the condition that the pictures are not published and the source remains anonymous. So this is also in regards to with other brands out there, where you guys can kind of go and see, like, they want to just make sure it's all legit. They want to make sure the leakers not get in trouble, because it may only be like a small service on it. So pictures of the controller keep the classic PlayStation 5 style, but show a few key differences. One of the biggest changes is buttons underneath the analog sticks, which allows you to completely remove the analog sticks and their components. So it's just nice. Like, it basically lets you go and change stuff, adjust stuff. And like I said, that's probably more so based on, say, sizing wise. Some people like me have a bigger hand, so you kind of want to have like maybe a slightly longer stick so it's easier to push down. So this allows you to completely remove the analog sticks and their components, which Sony refers to as a removable stick unit, which is, in all honesty, kind of a pretty basic name. This presumably means that you'll just be able to have a stick unit rather than a new controller if it develops stick drift. So basically, it's also very nice too, because we have seen a few reports, not as much in comparison to, say, Nintendo, but we have seen a few reports, though, of them having, controller drift and, like, just perpetually always leaning to the left or stuff like that. So at least that's also a nice feature that if you have any issues, you can ideally maybe fix it and, make it a little bit nicer. So another feature includes the trigger stops at the back of the controller, in addition to flappy paddles and buttons that have become increasingly popular over the years, with players turning to companies such as Scuff Gaming or Nacon for such controllers. And that's like, once again, what I kind of showed you guys over here, because I'm kind of happy I have this on hand, where you basically just have these back analogs right there, as you guys can see, and it kind of does make everything a little bit more easier, adds more options. Or like, let's say you want to add like prone, so like you want to go prone while also like doing everything else with your hand. It does, like, you could even see it in my hand itself, it's a really good clean feeling. Or say with this, maybe you want to put, I don't know, like maybe you have like a jump, maybe you have like a crouch, whatever you want to go and do with it, kind of gives you more options on what you want to press and do, which I think it's nice. Like, I've had these types of nicer controllers, and I've utilized these as my main even PC, like PS5, but also on PC, and at the end of the day, I do actually kind of highly recommend these. So the fact that we have Sony now being leaked, that they want to make even more of these, is kind of a good thing. Like, I'm kind of liking the idea of this. So basically, too, as well, as we also mentioned, too, another feature is the trigger stops, as just showed you guys over there, and they've been kind of really popular. The prototype also features grips to uphold the controller, which also seems removable. The one I have in front of me, though, is not removable. It's just kind of built on in. But at the same time, sometimes it's nice to have that, because it does kind of make things flow and feel a little bit better, which I think is nice. And as well, if you get like sweaty hands, especially now in the summer, it kind of calms down on, like, just, I don't know, a bad, uncomfortable feeling controller. And according from the same source too as well, it's also been said that the PS5 controller, which was referred to as the PS5 Pro controller in casual conversation, will also be having some significant software upgrades. That, once again, is very intriguing, because as you guys know, one of the biggest features for these controllers are usually more on the adaptive feedback and adaptive controllers, the rumble features, and basically just the efficiency of everything out there with it. So I gotta give it a kind of a cool thumbs up, because at the end of the day, this is like pretty big news, I would say, especially because, as you guys know, the big selling point for the PS5 is usually the controller and how they function that into the games and everything else with it. So I think it's kind of neat and kind of cool. It's unclear when exactly new controller will be revealed, and of course, because this is also on the initial leaks and all that stuff, but it does, like, Tom's usually pretty reputable, with the source simply saying it should be soon. However, it's understood by several sources that Sony is set to unveil several new bits of hardware at the end of this month, which not a new console, but I think a lot of that will also be tied into probably with the PSVR 2 and other stuff too as well. So basically, this is really, really cool news too on top of this, and maybe some people might be kind of comparing this with also God of War 2 as well, mainly with the brand new game coming out, maybe new tie-ins and features with it. We'll have to maybe go and see. But at the end of the day, this is kind of huge news and kind of cool as well. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. There are the Amazon links down below as well, and the Target links and Twitter and Twitch and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys up later on throughout today for another video.